The batteries are super hot down here, so there's obviously something wrong with these. So these are our new lithium batteries.
Now we're ashore and we're going to rent bikes. I remember coming here as a child and we did this. And after the success that Vera loved going on the bike on Costa, we'd rent a bike again. She's now picking which bike she wants. Det var häftigt. Värsta backen direkt. Now we stopped at the bakery and we're gonna buy some buns.
Yeah, cinnamon buns and focaccia bread.
Oh, they were delicious. The focaccia bread. Now we're in the southeast harbor. This is where the ferry arrives. We're looking at this swan family with 8 babies. They're so fina.
Beautiful here. Quite a difference from the last time we visited the island. Mina fäng. Brännes. Gorgeous trail. Fantastic here between the trees.
We ended up in the bushes. There's so much bike traffic here. We had lunch at Tycho Brahe's cafe, and then we returned the bikes and drove out to round 2. Oh, we just woke up. Vaknade precis. Weighed anchor and now we're sailing to Barsebäck, Johan's childhood town, where we will celebrate midsummer with his family. Today it's Midsummer Eve. A big... R2D2 is hanging there. Midsummer is a big Swedish holiday. It's like as big as Christmas. We have a bunch of traditions that we do every year. We pick flowers and we make a midsummer pole, which is like a cross really, and we dress this pole with flowers and leaves, and then we dance around the pole. Like we sing Little Frogs, and we look like frogs and jump around the pole. So it's funny.
Kind of crazy.
It sounds kind of crazy, yeah.
Not a lot of room in this marina, so we had to moor outside of that maxi.
The midsummer preparations were on. Decorating the pole, making flower wreaths, and cleaning the new potatoes with Bern's special method. Don't worry, the toilet brush was brand new.
Elan går, sjung hopp, lalalala, skål!
And then the little frogs came out.
We just left Barsebäck and are heading into Malmö. It's a really slow sail today. We only have 8 knots of wind through, doing around 3.5, sometimes 4 knots. But that's okay, we're not in a hurry. We'll be in Limhamn in 2 hours. And we have some cargo with us, our new lithium batteries, and we also got to borrow some bicycles from my parents, which would be really nice to have now in the marina. Because this marina is a bit further away from the city, or from the city center. So I think it will be nice to have some transportation.
I'm happy that we're heading home to our hometown. It's always nice to come home when you've been away for a while. I mean, we have been away from Malmö since mid-January.
Yeah.
So it's 4.5 months, I think.
Yeah.
So it's a long time. And now we have a couple of weeks, maybe 6 to 8 weeks here in Malmö.
Yeah, we did a lot of work, a lot of stuff that needs to be done now on the boat, especially with the electrical system. Changing the batteries and connecting all the solar panels and a lot of the antennas. And,
we put up the netting around the lifeguards for Vera, but then we're leaving Sweden.
Yeah.
So it's kind of very exciting work too.
Yeah.
The harbor we usually stay in didn't have room for us this time, so it will be our first time staying in this harbor with Ron too. Limhamns harbour is Malmö's biggest one, with almost 1,000 boat slips. It's just a little bit over 8 a.m. and we're going for a swim. We're now heading to a floating dock. It's so warm today. It's already over 20 degrees and it's supposed to be like 21 degrees in the water. So lovely. We've been spending some time hanging out with our families, and then we welcomed Vera's new cousins.
Malin was changing the bed sheets here before when she felt that the mattress was really hot. Yeah, so we lifted the mattress up and turns out that the batteries are super hot down here, so there's obviously something wrong with these. They're pretty old, 10 years old now, and since we're replacing them, and there's some metallic smell, so obviously there's something going on inside of these that are not good. It's wet batteries, and I checked the levels in them and that's okay, so I guess it's something else. We have 4 of these back here in our 24 volt bank, 2 on this side and 2 more over there, and then we have 2 more but in a 12 volt bank under the staircase going down into the boat. And the good thing is that next week we're swapping all the batteries for lithium, and until then we just have to live with half the 24 volt bank, but that's okay because we're on shore power now. So they're very heavy, close to 40 kilos each.
Där ska den sitta, ja. Är det klart?
I'm installing some netting on the boat to make it a bit more safe for Vera to be up here. So I'm just done with this side up until the first gate, and now I will do the port side. So I decided to remove the wire and thread the wire through the netting. Normally I think people do it the other way around, that they take a line and wrap around the netting and then around the wire. And that's of course a lot easier, but I think this looks better.
Stormy day today. We have packed up some of our belongings. We got quite many bags because we are going to move into my dad's house for a little while. They left for vacation today, so we will house sit their house, and it will be perfect for us because we need to turn the boat upside down now when we are replacing the battery bank. So it's perfect timing, and it would be nice to have a little bit more room for a while. Vera can run around.
I'm back at the boat, and today I'm starting a major project. We're going to swap out our old lead acid batteries for lithium. The girls are back at the house, which is kind of nice because I'm going to mess up the boat quite a bit today. But first I thought it could be a good idea to show you guys how our system looks today. Round 2 was originally delivered with a dual voltage system. So we have a 12 volt system and a 24 volt system. And on top of that we also have the starting battery system, which is 12 volt. So you could say that we have 3 different battery banks on the boat. So some of the things are running on 12 volt, some of the heavier users like the windlass and the bow thruster and stuff like that is running on 24 volt. So I'm going to show you how that looks on our engine. So this is our 12 volt system. We have 2 of these batteries, and in total it's on 290 amp hours in 12 volt. We also have the starting battery in 12 volt for the engine. And as you can see on the engine we have 2 alternators. One for 12 volt and one for 24 volt. This one for 24 volt is pretty strong. It's on 80 amps in 24 volts, so equivalent to 160 amps in 12 volt. And I think this one is on 90 amps in 12 volt. So a dual system, as you can see, pretty special. Yeah, back here under the bed is where we have our 24 volt bank. We normally have 4 of these batteries connected both in a series and in parallel to make up in total 290 amp hours in 24 volts. Right now there's only 2 of them, one here and one on this side. But as you saw the other day, we had to remove 2 of the batteries, which normally sits over there, because they got very hot and there was something wrong with them. So they are up in the cockpit right now. I think I'm going to start by removing these 2 batteries, because here is where I'm thinking we're going to have the new lithium batteries on these 2 compartments. Yeah, always be careful when you're working with batteries like this, because there's a lot of amps. So don't have any rings or any metal on you that you could short the batteries with. Because if you have your finger stuck in there in a ring and you short out the battery like this, that can be really bad. So no rings. So now all the 24 volt batteries are disconnected, but there's still electricity in these because we're on shore power, and right now the whole system is fed by the 24 volt charger. So I'll put tape over these so I don't accidentally short anything here, just a precaution on both the minus and the plus side. There's really nothing that's running on 24 volts when we're on at the dock. We could run the fridge on 24 volt, but right now it's running on 12. Also some of the pumps are running on 24 volts. But it's okay to run it from the charger, so that's what we're going to do now when we're here at the dock. It's not all chargers that are okay with this. So if you're doing something like this, you better check if your charger is okay to be run without any batteries connected to it. So Yeah, that's it. All of the lead acid batteries are out of the boat, except for the starter battery. In total here we have 10,440 watt hours or 870 amp hours in 12 volts. And the combined weight of this package is 216 kilos. So pretty heavy stuff. Some of these, or most of these batteries are from 2011, some are from 2012. So they're almost 10 years old. So a pretty good track record for being a normal lead acid battery and a wet cell. So these are our new lithium batteries, our lithium iron phosphate batteries with an addition of yttrium to them. The yttrium makes them last a little bit longer than normal lithium iron phosphate batteries, especially if you push them a bit and they get hot. This whole package is only 57 kilos. That's about 1/4 of the old battery bank. The old battery bank was around 216 kilos, so we save a lot of weight by installing this instead. And also the volume. This whole package is 39 liters. The old package was 130 liters, so around 1/3 of the volume. So you save a lot of space as well, which is nice. This package gives 480 amp hours in 12 volt usable power. So 240 amp hours in 24 volts, and that's usable power. The old battery bank was on 870 amp hours in 12 volts, but you could only use around half of that, because in lead acid batteries you shouldn't really go lower than 50% of the power capacity. So we actually have more usable power in this package, even if the weight and the volume is so much less. So why are we swapping to lithium batteries? I would say that the biggest reason is that we want efficient charging. These batteries will take whatever charge you will give them, more or less, at least compared to the lead acid batteries. So that means that you, let's say you hoist your anchor and you're leaving the anchorage, just that half an hour or 20 minutes by motoring, these batteries will just suck all the power they can get from the alternator on the engine during that time. And of course also the lifespan. A lead acid package like the old one we have a lifespan of around 500 full cycles before you need to replace them. Here we're talking maybe 3,000 to 5,000 cycles, maybe more if you treat them well, before you need to replace them. If we talk price, this package is $2,450 just for the batteries. The lead acid batteries, the old ones that we had, I checked the price on those, and if we were going to replace those with the same type of batteries, we would have paid around $2,550. So this is actually cheaper if you just look at the actual batteries. But in addition, you also need a BMS system to control the lithium batteries, to check them so that you don't have overvoltage, undervoltage, and temperature and stuff like that, to keep them safe and make them last long. And we opted for a really premium system that were built from the ground up for being on a boat. So we paid $2,140 for the BMS system. So in total, around $4,500, the batteries together with the BMS system. The difference here compared to the drop-in units that you can buy is that the BMS system will be separated from the actual batteries. And in my mind, this is the better way to go, even if it takes a bit longer to install. It will be a safer system and more versatile system that can control the batteries in a safer way, in my opinion. In addition to our lithium bank, we will also add a lead acid bank that will work together with these batteries. And the reason we're doing this is because if the BMS system for some reason disconnects this whole lithium package, we want the power from the alternator on the engine, the solar, if we have some other chargers going at the moment, we want that power to have somewhere to go. And also I want the safety feature that if we have a blackout, the BMS system says that we need to shut this package down. I still want to have some power on the boat to run the autopilot and stuff like that, and the bow thruster and everything, so you don't become a sitting duck without power on the boat. And that's one of the features that our BMS system are able to control. That's why we opted for an external, more premium system, if you say.
Thank you guys for watching. That was a lot of technical stuff in the later part of the video. I know some of you will really like that, but I hope the rest won't be too bored, because there will be more. So don't miss out on that episode. Yeah, and Vera is telling you to make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. That really helps us out, and it's all for free. And if you would like to support the production of these videos, you can join our Patreon crew. See you next week. Can you say bye bye? Bye bye.